Welcome to the Functional 5 Mobility for Everyday video. Our goal here is to have a follow-along video that allows you to work on all of your ranges of motion to help you functionally in your everyday life. The very first one we are going to start with is the anterior and posterior lines, or the front and back superficial lines. We're going to start in what is basically a child's pose with arms extended overhead, letting the head hang toward the floor. From there, we're going to rock forward, rolling the shoulder blades back, squeezing the glutes and opening the front of the hips. The goal with each repetition of each one of these movements is to move slowly and exhale at the point of the stretch. So in the case of this movement, when we lean forward, we are stretching the front line, and when we sit back into child's pose, we are stretching the back line. Our goal here is to introduce movement to these myofascial slings or nets to hydrate the tissues and find any restrictions. So the goal is to time your breathing with each stretch. So I'm mainly inhaling in the middle, and I'm not changing direction until I have fully exhaled. So here I am exhaling, inhaling as I move through the middle, and exhaling into the stretch. Inhaling through the middle and exhaling through the stretch. If you want to work on slowing your breathing down in order to really keep the nervous system lowered, you can breathe through your mouth slowly and evenly, like you're blowing through a straw. So you can inhale through your nose and slowly exhale through the mouth, imagining you are blowing through a straw. Excellent job. Now the goal of each one of these movements is to follow along with me for 10 repetitions. You'll notice that I am not in a hurry in any way. You want to practice all 5 of these movements for 10 repetitions at least once a day. You'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, I am showing video from Muscle in Motion and Anatomy Trains to help you understand which muscles are involved in each one of these movements. This will help you better target and understand what you're feeling as you're going through each one of these exercises. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the lateral line. So here what I need to do is face a wall. I'm going to cross one leg over in front of the other and make sure the hip of the rear leg is rotated forward. Keeping one hand on the wall, I'm going to reach overhead, side bending, away from the behind leg and toward the forward leg. I do not want to twist at all. Again, my main goal is to exhale as I feel the stretch. So I'm inhaling as the arm comes down and exhaling as the arm goes overhead and I side bend. Again, my goal is to not twist at all. I'm trying to isolate the tissue on one side of my body. Focus on slow, even, controlled breaths and take your time. Your goal is 10 repetitions on each side. You can do this freestanding if you're able to maintain your balance. And you can also do it freestanding without rotating. If for any reason it is difficult for you to raise your arm up overhead, you can always place your fingertips on your temple or behind your ear and keep your elbow at shoulder level and repeat the same motion. Now you'll repeat the same movement on the other side. So again, remember, you cross the front leg in front of the back leg, and you need to make sure that your hips are rotated so that they are square with the wall. Exhale as you stretch and try to reach directly up overhead, bringing your bicep to your ear, basically. Now we're moving into the anterior functional line, or the front functional line. You can perform this action in a frog position, like I have my knees here, just wide enough that you feel tension in the inner thighs. Or, if that's not quite advanced enough, you can extend one leg out. And here I'm going to be supporting myself with the same side hand as the leg that's straight. If you're on both knees, you just pick a side. Now what I'm going to do is reach with my arm on the ground, palm up, trying to get my shoulder to the ground. And then as I open, I want to keep my hand lower than my shoulder. And exhale on the way up and through. Inhale through the center and exhale on the way down. Again, I'm working nice, slow movements, taking even breaths. And as my arm reaches toward the ceiling, I am likely going to feel a stretch in the inner thigh of the straight leg or the opposite leg. I will also feel that through my abdomen and through my chest, and potentially even down through my arm. Your goal is to perform 10 repetitions and then switch to the other side. Try to make sure that as you are bending toward the ground, you can see here I am looking up toward the ceiling with every repetition as my shoulder reaches the floor, and I am following my hand with my eyes through the whole motion. So up at the ceiling, arm comes through, I'm going to watch my fingertips. And then as I return in the other direction, follow my fingertips and look up at the ceiling. Just like so. Remember, as you feel the stretch, you want to exhale. Now our goal is to stretch the back functional line, or the posterior oblique sling. This is going to involve getting into a hurdler position with one leg straight and the other knee out to the side with my foot tucked in toward my thigh. I'm going to internally rotate my foot, and I'm going to bring my arm up and over, trying to touch either my foot, my calf, or potentially even my knee. And I'm going to feel the stretch from the glute of the straight leg across to the opposing lat, and I'm going to feel that through my lower back. Exhaling as I come over and looking the direction of the forward leg as I come across. Now that we've done 10 repetitions, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Now remember, doing this daily is really important for finding where these adhesions in the myofascial layers are bound up, and also to allow movement into areas that we don't normally get movement, to bring in fresh water and fresh hydration to get the toxins out of those areas and hydrate those tissues for better elasticity and mobility, as well as glide. For this one, we're getting into the spiral line, which is very important for gait. I'm going to lie flat on my back with my leg at 90 degrees and allow it to come over the top. Then the leg that was straight on the bottom is also going to bend at 90 degrees. The arm on the bottom is going to hook my top knee, and then I am going to open back, following my hand, exhaling, making sure that I am watching my hand with my eyes the whole time. Exhaling as I reach back, slowly and gently. This is not a fast jerking motion. This is a slow, even movement with a deep exhale. I do not want the top leg, I do not want that knee to come off the ground. That knee must stay on the ground. That is why I am hooking it with the bottom hand, to keep that knee flat. Now that we've done 10 repetitions, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Again, top knee 90 degrees over the top, lower leg that was straight is going to bend, arm on the bottom is going to hook my knee, and you can see this from the rear view now. I am working very hard to keep my hips square, keep that top knee on the ground, and follow my hand with my eyes, exhaling as I reach back. The last two movements in this series are activation movements. The first one is a basic bridge. I'm going to tilt my pelvis until my lower back is flat on the floor, and then I'm going to drive through my heels, activating my glutes, which you see me pointing at here, trying to keep my pelvis flat at the top. This is for gluteal activation. Most of us sit on our glutes, and this puts them in a stretched and inactive position. So following these 5 movements with 10 glute bridges is a really great way to activate the posterior chain. Most of us in the West are anterior tight and posterior loose. So by stretching the anterior side and then activating the posterior side, this is going to help us decompress and hydrate the tissues around our lumbar spine and in our back. Now we're going to go into a Superman or a Y hyperextension. I'm going to have my arms out at 30 degrees. I'm going to point my thumbs up, and my goal is going to be to flex my glutes and activate my whole posterior chain by driving my thumbs and heels up toward the ceiling and looking up with my eyes. This is a great way to get all of the erectors on the backside active and firing, so that way you can maintain good postural health. Great job getting through this today. If you would like to see more like this, or you have questions, please leave comments in the comments section below. And also, if you find this video useful, please like and subscribe. I know that it gets tiring hearing this from every YouTuber, but it really does help. So give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and learn more about the Functional 5, Wellness 6, and other videos that I'll have coming out in the future. Thanks for watching.